And here we go. This is the single elimination round of the Super Metroid Winner 100% tournament, and right now we have WildAnaconda69 on the left, Benko on the right, making their way through series at the beginning of their race. This part's all about having good execution of the movement into the Ridley fight and then back for the escape. Both of them taking 5 hits from Ridley to get low enough on health to start the escape, and then heading out. Doing some arm pumping to advance Samus by 1 extra pixel each time it's done. Stopping in front of the doors to let them open a little bit before running through them to get a little bit more speed in the next room. And hoping that the steam puffs don't interfere too much. And a 45 escape timer for Wild, 42 for Benko, with a small fall in the climb at the end. But onto Planet Zebes they go. So now that they've landed, they're making their way into the interior of the planet to start collecting some items and wake the planet up to get the rest of the game going. Wild at the pit room, making all the jumps across, not falling in, and headed down into Blue Brinstar. Benko also making all the jumps across that room. Here we have the first couple items in the game, the morphing ball and the first missile pack. And now they'll make their way back out where where the planet will now have been woken up. They now have to cross the pit room and hope that the enemies don't interfere too much, and make their way up the climb room. While getting up there with some wall jumping. And some hero shots up along the wall to pre-kill some of the enemies along the wall before Samus gets to them. Benko instead going for ledge grabs on the platforms that are along the center of the room. Both of them making their way into the Bounterizo fight. Wild entering with full health, exactly what you want to do there, because this fight is all about getting missile drops. And when you're at full health, that's the only type of drops you can get. Very nice bomb Trizo fight for Wild. Exactly what you want to happen. Being able to leave some missile drops for a second jump up, to not need to farm a second round of the projectiles to get more missiles. And there's Alcatraz escape for Wild. And there it is for Benko also. Both of them now making their way toward Green Brinstar to further explore and gather items from the interior of the planet. So Wild is just about at the first major sequence break of the game, and that is the early super missiles. By performing a mock ball along this bridge, it's possible to make it under the gates before they close and get to all of the items that lie behind, including a pack of super missiles. Normally, you would need to defeat Spore Spawn to get access to super missiles, and you would need to come back to this room with the speed booster to get everything that's in it. But these will allow skipping Spore Spawn altogether. Wild with the first reserve tank and now about to try to mockball the other way through the room, which is much harder than mockballing to the right. Gets it. The exact positioning of the mockball inputs don't really matter too much for going to the right, but for the left they very much do, and it's nice to see that Benko also got it. Now they're headed through Pink Brinstar. Wild has collected the charge beam. The runners will leave the missile pack that's there till their second pass through this room because they can detour to that missile pack while waiting for a power bomb to explode. There's the Green Hill Zone mockball for Wild. Another aspect of keeping speed through keeping running speed by mockballing is that when you go off an edge and bounce, it still keeps your speed until you land from the bounce. So the way that things work in that room allowed keeping the horizontal speed down an extra step. Wild now getting the spazer to make the beam more powerful and wider. Makes it easier to hit and do more damage to many things. Benko headed there now, Wild headed into Kraid's lair. with a very nice jump across into the mouth containing the entrance to warehouse. And Wild in the crate fight now, with Benko just entering the Crate's lair area. Wild is about to go for the Crate quick kill. The super missiles were a little bit off, so they did not hit Crate's mouth. So Crate is going to rise out of the ground. This will be a good opportunity for Benko to catch up. Alright, Wild has killed Crate. And is getting Various Suit. Benko with a very nicely executed Crate quick kill, making the race much closer. The way the quick kill works is by hitting Kraid's mouth when it's in a particular frame of its opening animation, it gets stuck that way, and you can unload more super missiles into it, enough to kill him before he even rises. We got a high five through the door to the Kraid energy tank. And a Kraid exit mock ball for Wild. Always nice to see that. Wild headed down toward the jump boots. And out Wild goes into the heated part of the first Norfair trip. Not that the heated part really matters, thanks to the Varia suit. Getting to the lava missiles very efficiently by getting that small mock ball along the first column of rock there. And that will bring Wild to Bubble Mountain. And the wall jump up to the top right of it, guarded by what we call the real final boss of the game, that cack attack, due to its spikes potentially knocking you out of the air while trying to jump onto it and making you have to position yourself and do the jump on wall jump again. But both make it up there, and over into the speed booster hallway, where Wild now has the speed booster. Looks like we'll be seeing a speed booster hallway high five. Benko now at the speed booster while Wild heads into the double chamber room that leads to the wave beam. Having to make those jumps across the platforms that move up and down there. And that wave beam will make the beam more powerful and allow it to pass through blocks that are solid. And there's Benko now at the wave beam. While Wild heads to the bottom of the Bubble Mountain room and reaches the spot where the early and late grapple routes diverge and goes left for late grapple. So Wild now on the way out of Norfair, but grabbing Ice Beam first. Benko instead went down in that room for the early grapple route. So until the two routes converge again, it will be difficult to really compare how precisely how they're doing. So Benko starting the Crocomire fight, while Wild makes it under the gate on the way out of Ice, and is on the way out of Norfair now. Benko has defeated Crocomire and heads over to the energy tank to also do the wraparound shot to pre-open the door. While that's going on, Wild is charged up for Alpha Spark. And there it is. So Wild will now be on the way up Red Tower and into Wrecked Ship. The items that Benko is collecting now will be... Wild will get those later. And Benko making it through the left door of Crocomire room, which was pre-opened by that wraparound shot, in order to shine Spark directly across to those power bombs. Meaning that the two of them will each have gotten their first power bombs at pretty much exactly the same time. While trying to damage boost to the right, back from where those power bombs are, but not quite getting it. And there's the grapple beam for Benko. And Benko is grappled across from grapple beam to the missiles that are in that top right part of the room. One of the most difficult intended strats in the game, because midair grappling takes a lot of getting used to. Looks like Wild is preparing to do Ocean Fly. But unfortunately hits the door. Saving a little energy by Shine Sparking high to not quite go all the way. That missile pack that Wild just got is generally grabbed before Fantoon because for whatever reason the spikes in that room can't hurt you without power. And Wild now enters the Fantoon fight with a nice speedball and turns off Ice and Spazer to set up for doing X Factors on Fantoon. If it goes right, the fight will only take 2 rounds. That first one looked good. Ooh, but 2 particles of the remaining, well, of the second X Factor missed. But with the extra hit that was delivered in the second round, it only took a missile or 2. So now, after one of the more dangerous bosses in the whole run, Fantoon, Wild's now on Rex ship cleanup, getting all the remaining items there, which also has some rather dangerous rooms in there. Hopefully those rooms will not be a problem. Benko, unfortunately, falling into the moat and having to bomb through the bottom of the hole with the moat missiles on it and make the jump again. Wild barely making it across Spiky Death Room. One more hit and Wild would have been dead. That room is the most dangerous one in this run, because those moving spikes do a full tank of damage. and the stationary ones do 30, so one more hit from those would have been the end of the run. Benko making the speedball into Fantoon. Wild getting reverse spiky death rune, nice. And we'll see what Fantoon patterns Benko gets. Wild entering Attic. The optimal strat for this room is rather involved. And Wild got most of it. Ideally, there's a speed keep at the end to jump through the last two enemies. And a very nice Fantoon fight from Benko. Wild got the Attic missile by doing some clips through the robots and is now headed toward the couple of missiles that are outside for heading into the bowling chorizo section leading up to the gravity suit. So with the proper short charge, as Wild just got, it's possible to Shine Spark all the way across these spikes and right into Bowling Chorizo's hands. Meanwhile, Benko Shine Sparks across Spiky Death Room, avoiding the need to deal with the spikes. So Wild can now head over to that missile and that reserve tank, while jumping up that shaft a little bit to, well, most of the way actually, to preserve some health and reduce the what's needed for, well, Wild's health is a little bit tight for setting up for Gauntlet Spark. And Benko handled Attic with a Shine Spark, which deals with the enemies on the left end of it very efficiently, but costs some health. So Wild now has the Criteria Power Bomb, and a little bit below the desired amount of health for Gauntlet Spark. Gets the wraparound shot to prepare for it. But, well, tries to jump out a little bit before doing the Shine Spark to save some energy. Oh my! Was a little bit too high with that, and so hit the door and has to power bomb all the way through the gauntlet. And makes it to the energy tank. Bonking on that Shine Spark resulted in having to deal with the acid and the yapping walls without very much health. But Wild got through it. And got through both columns of crumble blocks. If you're not right on the middle of the columns of crumble blocks there, you end up locking yourself out of one of the missiles and having to go all the way back around for it. So that will put Wild into Brinstar cleanup. While Benko is just about finished Wreck Ship. Wild about to pay a visit to the Edicoons. Showing the Edicoons what really, really good wall jumping looks like. And Benko heads down back into Red Brinstar. For looks like some forgotten items. Wild gets the quick drop to the pink Brinstar power bombs, making it possible to buffer a jump back up through that crumble block before it respawns and go back out the entrance to that room, allowing a more efficient path through a big pink room. The Mission Impossible strat for those power bombs. Wild making a very nice damage boost out of that room and setting up for the Spore Spawn skip shot. Careful positioning of the super missile and the camera allow breaking that super block. Looks like Benko has done a little bit of on-the-fly rerouting and is starting Meridia now, and will do Brinstar cleanup later. So that brings Benko to the Mama Turtle tank. Wild on the way through Green Hill Zone, laying a power bomb near the top of it to pre-open a yellow door. Almost, but does not quite get Blockbuster. The jump was a little bit to the left. Getting that would have resulted in speedballing through the door and breaking through the platform that Wild headed down through. So now Wild enters Meridia. Gets a very good short charge along the bottom of the first room to get Main Street missiles. Go on the way back from the items that were at the far end of the Meridia beach. And headed down towards Aqueduct and Batoon. While finishing up Mama Turtle Room and heading up into the Meridian Mountain Room. And Benko is in the Batoon fight. Looks like the X factor there was right on. And 6 quick super missile shots later, Batoon is down. Benko charging up for, looks like, Halfy. Wild on the way through beach. Benko headed into the Dragon fight. Getting rid of those turrets so that they don't get in the way. And there is a 2-round Dragon fight. Although because it finished up with projectiles and not a Shine Spark, there's no blue suit from it. So Wild is now entering the Batoon fight, setting up the X Factor. Looks good. And again, 6 quick super missiles to finish the job. Looks like Wild's going for the full halfie, and gets it. After another high five moment in the halfie climb room. And Wild enters the Dragon fight, while Benko is on the right sandpit of Meridia cleanup. Getting a missile and some power bombs on the way to soon get Spring Ball. And that was a very nice Dragon opener from Wild. But the second Shine Spark was barely not enough. Wild attempted to gain a Shine Spark suit off of the turrets, but wasn't able to. Meanwhile, Benko waiting for Shacktool to dig through the sand. Wild space jumping across Coliseum. Wild headed down the sandpit, while Benko reaches Spring Ball. Benko passing right under the room that Wild's in. And heading up the tunnel to the top right part of Meridia where the plasma beam is. And Wild about to do the ice clip for Spring Ball. Looks like there it is. That trick is the main hard part about late grapple route. Benko is now headed toward Cacatac Alley to get to the other set of sand pits where some more items await being collected. And Wild has let Shactal dig through the sand and gotten Spring Ball. Wild on the way up the tunnel toward Plasma. Benko getting ready to get the Aqueduct Missile and Super Missile. Keeping speed echoes through the door. And doing a speed keep upward through to the Missile and the Super. Nice way to save a little time over Shine Sparking up it, but much harder. Benko in the left sand pit now, where these two items are the last two in Murdia. Wild through Cacatac Alley now. Entering it, I mean. Making a nice space jump over the last part that needs to be jumped over there. And Benko out of Murdia. Headed into Norfair after a small detour for Kraid missiles. While not quite making it all the way up the blocks to Aqueduct Missile and Super, but because the last part of that is a two block high gap, is able to jump onto the block under it in such a way that it allows clipping through. Benko getting a nice mock ball out of Kraid's lair after getting Kraid missiles, and down into Norfair to finish that up. Get the remaining items and do lower Norfair and beat Ridley. Because of the route Benko used, Benko is getting ice now. So Wild now headed toward Kraid Missile, using a spring ball jump to get across into the path leading to Kraid's lair. Looks like Wild went for the speedball for exiting Kraid's lair, but made the jump a little bit too far to the right. Makes a nice mock ball out of it. And Benko went for Chronic Boost, but not quite timed the jump right. Instead, space jumping up the lava after running through it at a more usual speed. Not usual, but ordinary, and headed down into Lower Norfair. And the blue fireball. Benko getting a short charge to have speed echoes for space jumping across the blocks that shoot flames in the previous room, and morphing and springballing at just the right spot to get all the way across the acid in order to then drain it. Wild got Chronic Boost and is now in Lower Norfair. Benko got the Golden Torizo missiles. Another spot where falling through is something that forces going all the way back around, and nicely gets into the safe spot of the Golden Torizo fight and defeats Golden Torizo. And on the way into the statue's hand, Wild got that spring ball jump also. Benko charging up for fastest pillars. And there it is. And Wild starting the Golden Torizo fight. Benko basically threw worst room in the game, which it very much is not in 100%, to the Mickey Mouse missiles. Wild with the screw attack. Benko headed down through Wasteland as Wild gets Mickey Mouse missiles. Getting both Kagos through the spike platforms. While defeating the key hunters in that room to reduce the lag that results from using power bombs, 2 of which have to... Well, actually only the second one actually has to be a power bomb, but 2 of them are generally used in that room. And that will bring Wild to the power bombs of shame, although since this is 100%, they're always needed anyway. And Benko in the Ridley fight. Wild handling the metal pirates. Looks like Benko used some super missiles on Ridley. Each one of them only does 2/3 the damage that a charged beam shot does, but because you can fire them faster than you can fire beam shots, you end up doing damage at a higher rate. But you do need to save some supers for later. Benko will pass back through the Ridley room as Wild finishes up the fight. Climbing up the spike area, not going quite as planned. But Benko now not getting speed echoes before trying to mockball in that room, having to bomb through the blocks. But Wild got the speedball. Wild using the plasma beam to hitbox through the key hunters. Taking advantage... well, that's going through them, taking advantage of the fact that when a shot is in the process of hitting an enemy, the enemy will not damage Samus. Both of them grabbing that missile as a speedball. And Wild getting that speedball to go through the first couple blocks of what's up there. They may happen to be just about in the same place right now, but Wild still needs to do the Crockmire area, and Benko still needs to do Brinstar cleanup. So Wild headed out from the Frankersy missiles as Benko is headed into them. And Wild is headed toward the Norfair reserve tank. Another high five in this room. Wild damage boosting along the off the spikes next to the Bubble Mountain missile to get over to it. Benko getting the same thing. And there's Wild going down into towards the Crocmire area now. And Wild entering the Crocmire fight. There's going to be a lot of flashing, so since you were never intended to have the plasma beam going into that fight, Crocmire was not made to absorb a plasma shot. So the plasma shot continues hitting Crocmire until it passes completely through, landing enough hits to push Crocmire all the way into the acid. And Wild made a few tries at getting a Shine Spark suit off of the spikes where Crocmire's death cutscene happens, but was not able to get it. And Benko with the X-ray scope now. That'll reveal the location of hidden items and hidden things, but he already knows where all of them are, so it really just serves to get in the way of item selection, which is one of the reasons why it's not acquired until very late in the run. So Benko going all the way up Green Hill Zone to now do Brinstar cleanup. There's the Spore Spawn skip. and Wild headed out of the Crocomire area. Where that missile will be the final item of Norfair for Wild. And Wild can now do the final cleanups of Brinstar and Criteria. Benko now headed down to go visit the Etacoons, get the items that are down there. Wild headed over to the X-ray scope. Had Wild been able to get a Shinespark suit off of the Crocomire fight, this is where it would have been used. And Benko showing the Etacoons how wall jumping is really done. And Wild went for reverse slinky and got some of it. And now is on Blue Brinstar cleanup. Wild headed along the invisible bridge to Billy May's room, where there looks like there's just a missile, but there is another one. There's more missile there, actually being the first one that Wild got. Wild getting a speedball through the middle room of Blue Brinstar. I believe that involved pre-opening it with a wraparound shot on the way down from Billy May's room. And Wild also charged a Shinespark and kept it through the elevator because that does not count against the Shinespark charge time, and used it to get through pit room without having to deal with the pits. Wild with the final super missile. There's Billy May's room for Benko. Wild at the final missile now. So Wild is headed down to the statue room towards Torian. Benko is just reaching Criteria with the Shine Spark charged from the final room of Blue Brinstar. And Wild in the room. There's the last super missile pack for Benko. Although there is more than just the missile pack after that for Benko, because Benko still needs to do Gauntlet. Meanwhile, Wild now entering the first Metroid room in Torian. Very, very nice first room. And second room. Benko preparing for Gauntlet, getting the power bombs there, while Wild gets ready for Metroid Skip. There's Gauntlet Spark for Benko, and a very nicely done Metroid Skip by Wild. Wild with the speed booster variation of Zeb Skip. And Wild beats Mother Brain 1. Benko getting the 2 packs of missiles at the end of Gauntlet, which are the last items for Benko. So Benko now headed into Torian, while Wild lands the 20 necessary shots on Mother Brain 2. while damaging down to set up for stand-up, doing the first bunch of it with a damage boost off of Mother Brain's head. And Wild entering that part of the fight with his traditional missile count. And as Wild starts dealing damage to Mother Brain 3 via the stand-up glitch, Benko is headed through the Metroid rooms. And that was a very nice stand-up by Wild. With Mother Brain immediately dying after the cutscene ended. So Wild is going to be starting the escape. Benko right at Metroid skip. Wild with the speed keep strat in Escape Room 3, and Benko got Metroid skip. Wild charging up for the final Shine Spark. Benko reaching Mother Brain now after doing the Ice Beam based Zeb skip. And Wild has completed the run with an SRL time of 1:19:13. Once we confirm 100% item completion, that will make Wild the winner. Meanwhile, Benko on Mother Brain 2, landing the 20 shots. Benko all ready for stand-up. As soon as the Metroid finishes draining Mother Brain. Getting some nice quick shots in. Takes 40 shots to drain all of Mother Brain 3's health. And there's Mother Brain 3 for Benko. It took a few Hyper Beam shots because some of the stand-up shots didn't hit. And Benko starts the escape. Wild very near the end of the credits. Get ready on your deer forces. We go with the final Shine Spark. And Wild confirmed with 100%. That means that Wild is officially our winner for this race, and Wild moves on in the tournament. And Benko finished the run. Benko's SRL time was 1:23:17. So very nice runs. GG to both runners. Congratulations, Wild. And it looks like Benko's run was a PB, so congrats. Once we confirm Benko's item percentage, we will then set up for the next race. Looks like that will be Galamaz versus Ivan. will put up as soon as we see Benko's item percentage. For Deer Force again. And 100%. That means Benko's run is valid and a nice PB. Congrats. So, thanks for watching this race, and we're gonna now set the next one up. I'm Stump, and I'll see you again once we set the next race up.
Hello, how's everybody doing today? Stump, thanks for that commentary, man.
Anytime. Hey, Wild.
How's it going?
That's
what
good.
Are you using to view the stream, by the way? I just want to make sure we're on the... A new one, or the old? Ah, okay. We've upgraded. Look at us getting all fancy.
Sure.
So our next race is going to be between Galamaz and Ivan. This should be a pretty awesome race. The PBs of these players, Ivan has a 118.02, and Galamaz a 123.29. I don't know which route Galamaz does off the top of my head. I can look real quick here at his personal best. I know Ivan does the route that I just did, where you get grapple late. Okay, it looks like Galamaz does the older route, early grapple. So that is what you should expect to see. Give me just a minute here. I need to get this TMP viewer shenanigans all set up for highest quality commentary for you all. Yes, regardless, Blue Guile, I think this is going to be a good race. Both of these are good players, so we'll see how this goes. It sounded, Stump, like you were getting thrown for a loop with Benko's route. I totally forgot that he has his own little route that he does.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I remember seeing it earlier on in the tournament and was baffled by it as well.
Definitely an interesting route.
So as our runners get prepared here, I hope you all have gotten cozy in your chairs. Maybe you're cuddled up in your bed with a warm blanket and some hot chocolate or tea or other warm beverage of choice. Maybe you're sitting in a comfy office chair in front of your PC with 10 monitors. Or maybe you're watching on your phone. But either way, relax and sit back as you prepare yourself for this wild ride. In other news, there were donuts at my house, and I went out to go grab one before I came to go do this race, and they were gone. I don't know where they went, and I'm really upset about it because there was one that I really wanted to eat.
One particular one?
Yes, the one particular donut out of the ones. It was like I think it was a cream-filled, chocolate-glazed donut,
Oh,
and
that
it
sounds
looked.
wonderful.
Yes, exactly. I'm glad you share my sentiment because I really wanted it. Oh well. And then there was like another old-fashioned. Does anybody like old-fashioned donuts? Like not the soft ones, but like the harder ones? I don't. I don't like those. I need my donuts need to be soft. No, Feasel's watching on my phone eating my donuts. Oh god. So that's who it is. That's who took it. So I just had to settle with a microwave burrito. Just having a little bit of technical issues, but they should be resolved shortly, so just hang tight, everybody. We do apologize, but we will be bringing your Super Metroid goodness to you shortly. Dorkmaster Fleck, I hope it's better than mine. Mine's just a microwave frozen burrito, so it's not very good. This is where I feel obligated to. No, I don't even feel obligated. I just want to share this with the world that there are crinkle fry burritos 5 minutes from me. This little taqueria makes burritos with crinkle fries in them, And if you've never had a burrito with crinkle fries, or any kind of fries or potato, you are missing out, let me tell you. Oh yeah, there you go, Dorkmaster. You're all set. I'm already jealous. Well, I didn't have any lunch, Easy Kibo, so it's like a pre-dinner for me. Siri X, I'll do that right now. There. Problem solved. Crisis averted. Yeah, Aldriel, that's what I've heard, that Europe, Mexican food in general, is not very common, which I feel so bad for you because it's delicious. Living in the Mexican food capital of the world, California, I am pretty lucky.
All right, everyone's readied up.
Yeah, looks like the race is about to start. Woo! Here we go.